Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich here with your outlook for September 27th, 2016. For your Tuesday, we have a cold front that's going to be moving through very early this morning. I do think in the interior, just going to have clouds that are going to go away to partly cloudy skies as that does move through. However, areas farther south and east, Philadelphia and points south and east, central and southern New Jersey, Delaware, still could have some showers this morning, and that might even as far southeastern areas here of southern New Jersey and Delaware might linger into the early afternoon hours. Going a little bit forward here, we can see that taking place. Here's a look at this is early afternoon on Tuesday, and you can see clouds are now clearing on the northwestern area, so you're getting partly sunny skies up in this area. But as this moves further south and east, you still have these showers down to South Jersey and Delaware. I do think that hangs into the afternoon hours in some of those places down there. But elsewhere, we do have that clearing taking place, and then you should have the sun come out maybe later in the day here in the Philadelphia area, but you're still going to have the sun come out nonetheless. At some point, further northwest, you go northwest of I-95, you get into the sun earlier, and I do think that those clouds are just around in the morning until this front moves further to the south. Now, going a little bit forward here, it's going to get interesting this week because you have this this area of low pressure up here that is going to be it's part in association with an upper level low that is sitting over the Great Lakes. This is going to influence our weather this week. At the tail end of the cold front, though, the cold front's not going to go too far to the south. It's going to sit right about here, and it's going to stall. Along the tail end of this frontal boundary, there's going to be an area of low pressure that's going to develop along that. That's going to be right about here over the Carolinas, and then eventually into southeastern Virginia. And this is going to become the focus of showers and rain and showers for our area that's going to last for several days. So this is much needed rainfall and a very interesting development. Because the European model had it for a couple days, the GFS wasn't really catching on to the idea, and finally it does look like this is going to close out the end of September on the wet note, which is a very good thing. We definitely could use this rainfall, and it's not all at once either. It's just spread over several days with that showery type weather. The highest concentration of this does look like it's going to come in here as early as Wednesday. Here's that area of low pressure developing. Here's the upper level low. Just to show you what this cutoff low looks like in the upper levels, this is what we mean by a cutoff low. You have the flow is over the top just like this, and this system is basically very well stacked here, and it has the jet stream is cut off from the jet stream, kind of like this. Okay, so there's your flow over the top, so it's kind of trapped. It just sits there and spins over the Ohio Valley, the Ohio River Valley here, and that is part of the driver of this system. There also, at the same time, we're going to have high pressure that's going to be well northeast of this system that's going to move this, as it develops, move the system back to the west a little bit. And I'll show you that here in the future frames as well. Here we go with later in the afternoon on Wednesday. Do have an increase in clouds here on Wednesday, and those showers moving in, especially in our southern areas, will move in later in the day. And this thing is going to start taking shape and developing. And you can see that area low pressure here. This is now Wednesday night. Big, broad area low pressure, but you can see the feed in here from off the ocean is bringing in some heavy rain in some cases. This will come in through Wednesday night. Here's a look at Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, and Thursday evening. Some pretty good rain showing here on the GFS. So you're seeing some pretty high totals here. I'm not so sure this is entirely accurate exactly for these areas that are shown for the heaviest rainfall. Somebody's going to get some pretty good rain out of this. But the rest of us could end up like an inch and a half, 2 maybe inches of rain, which is still a decent amount. But some of these amounts here shown on the GFS were shown to be 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. I don't know if we're going to be getting that high. So this area low pressure here on on Thursday looks like it's really your heaviest rain day out of this period. And then as it starts to move into Thursday night and early Friday here, it's more showery type weather here. The low starts to move off to the west, so it was originally down here. It's going to start moving back toward the west and then eventually doing one of these numbers here and heading off to the northeast. I'm going to show you a graphic that I used to describe this to our premium forum members, just to give you an idea. This is where we are on the GFS here Thursday evening. By Friday evening, it's pulled back to the west, and that's because we have a high pressure. It's off the map here, right up in this direction here. There's an area of high pressure. It's pretty strong. It's actually going to pull this thing back to the west. So by Friday evening, it's out in this area. That's why we become more showery in this area. And then it starts to, as a high pulls away, starts to curve back to the right and head up in here. But it's going to take a process. From Friday evening, it goes to here Saturday evening, and by Sunday morning, it's getting ready to pull away. So I do think we have improving conditions by the time we get to Sunday. So we'll be much better once we get to that point. But here's a look at Saturday. Still have these showers around here as this system's still trying to consolidate to our north and pull away. This is actually Saturday evening, so it's not going to be a constant rain. It's going to come in waves. I think the concentration's on Thursday. Anywhere from Wednesday night through Thursday night, I think, is your biggest concentration. More showery on Friday. You might have a break in between into early Saturday, then later Saturday, get those showers rotating through again, and that's going to favor our northern areas this time. And as the system pulls away, we're now looking at Sunday here. The system's off into the Gulf of Maine, so we are now partly cloudy. That's what we're hoping for right now. But whenever these cutoff systems like this, when you have the cutoff low just sitting there and spinning, you have a lot of things that can happen. It can actually keep the unsettled weather a little bit longer than expected currently. So right now we're keeping our fingers crossed for Sunday being a better day and much improved after all this rain moves out of here. But we definitely need the rain, so if it does stick around, that's okay too. But if you are looking for a better weekend plan, look for Sunday to do better the 2 days. But when we have a cutoff low we're dealing with, sometimes it doesn't play by the rules and likes to stick around and linger for a little while. So we'll just monitor that and see where it goes from here. But right now we're siding with an early exit on Sunday. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for September 27th, 2016. Have a great Tuesday.